here's the reason. Here's the real reason why. The real reason why Black Adam has gotten a 40% from the critics is because it's a straight black man uh, doing a superhero movie. All right, man. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. All right. So I'm gonna do my thoughts on Black Adam and the critics and the audience split. There's a bunch of different theories on the reason why I feel the way I feel, and why I feel like Black Adam, why the audience loves Black Adam, and why the critics seem to not like Black Adam. So so let's get into it. So right now, as of today, Black Adam is sitting at 40% from the tomato meter. That's 214 reviews, and 90% for the audience score, and that's 2,500 plus. So that's probably over I would say 10,000, maybe more. So here's the reason. Here's the real reason why. The real reason why Black Adam has gotten a 40% from the critics is because it's a straight black man doing a superhero movie, and it's not a woke film. That's just it. Whether he was if he was, well, he is a man of color, I would say, even though I hate that term, but he's a man of color. But he's a straight man. That's it. This is the reason why they gave this, because if you read most of the reviews, it's no representation for them. That's what it is, and it's not enough. There's and I wouldn't even say that this is just, to me, and I'm gonna do my review after this video. But this is the reason why Rotten Tomato mostly is compiled of progressive and far left liberal leaning critics. I would say most of them basically want woke material. A good percentage of them, they want woke material. They want material that is going to give representation to the trans and the gay community. That's how they gauge movies, and they're going to continue to do this. But this just furthers my point about why Rotten Tomato doesn't matter anymore, because these people are out of touch. They think that they're doing something by doing this, because there's no way in the world you can tell me that this movie has over 90%, because this is just the audience score, that they posted. The ones that they didn't post, I think is higher. This movie has overwhelmingly 90% from the audience, and you're telling me that 214 of y'all, not all of y'all, because some of y'all obviously said it was okay, or y'all gave it a certain amount of stars. This is the only reason why I say that this is split between the audience and the critics, is because this movie is not a woke movie, and people, this should tell Warner Brothers Discovery, whoever is in charge, David Zaslav, whatever his name is, whoever's in charge, this should tell you that the audience wants to see movies that is not woke content. Because if you go to anything that's Marvel right now, the critics giving it an extremely high rating, and the audience is giving it a bad rating. So that tells you right there, the audience wants to see material that's not based around woke material. They don't want to see that. They want to see superhero movies. They want you to get back to just the regular superhero movies. That's what they want. That's what they're asking for. This was that 90s for. That's nuts. It's a 90 versus a 40. And I think Rock said something on his Twitter account. He said, basically said thank you for, all the hard work that he put in, for 15 years. But this should tell you, nobody wants to see in a progressive agenda in comic book movies. Make movies that is for that. You don't make slavery movies and put gun violence in the movie. You don't make a comedy and put serious drug dealers. Well, they did do that before. I think Weeds was like that, and that kind of worked. But y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's a clear bias and difference. And not to count that most of these critics, they hate DC. That's just a whole nother argument. But this is what it is, man. These people want woke material. And this movie is not a woke movie. It's basically based on a guy who's an anti-hero, superhero, whatever you want to call him. And he's a straight man. Or he doesn't allude to none of that. And I think that they can't stand it. They cannot stand a movie that doesn't cater to their ideology. They hate it. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that these people are not catering to what I want. Oh my God. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's a comic book movie. But that should show you right there. It's been the last couple of movies that's been coming out that's been on the DC side or anything that's related to not woke material. It gets a high rating from the audience. But then you get the critics who do this. And then when you read it, they tell you basically what it's all about. And the reason why. One critic said, I kid you not, one critic said this is the worst movie he ever seen in his life. You gotta be smoking fucking black crack if you saying that this is the worst movie you ever seen in your life. Obviously, you don't get out much. There's no way you can tell me that you believe that this is the worst movie you ever seen in your life. You're a fucking fraud and you're lying. You're lying. You just want to get a headline. It's so crazy how people back in the day, they used to say rappers and musicians used to sell their soul, to get ahead. The critics do that right now. They're selling their soul to get ahead, which means they're lying about how they really truly feel about something just so they can get a headline so people can pick their article up. It's goofy as hell. How can you if the audience who's the consumer consumes this stuff, consume in all types of ways, consume it, whether it's merchandise, thinking, spending money, anything you want to think of. And on top of that, they're writing reviews, which means they're critics too. And then you got the critics who hate it, but don't give a clear reason why. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's why I said Rotten Tomatoes dead. I could never take nobody. If you write for Rotten Tomato, fuck you. Because I could never take you serious. I don't care. I could never take you serious because you're a clown. If you write for Rotten Tomato and you see that the audience loves something, and not the fact that you write for Rotten Tomato, and I'm talking to the people who write for Rotten Tomato with malicious intent to try to stop something because it doesn't represent you. You don't even base it off of what you believe the movie should be. You know what I'm saying? Or no comic book knowledge. You just base it off of how you feel and what you believe the movie should be to you. oh, I'm gay, so it has to be about me. Whatever I want. It has to be about me and my friends. If my friends are not represented in this movie, then it's nothing. You ever think that maybe some of these characters are just not gay? It's like y'all want people to switch everything up to support y'all agenda. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's why I said I don't fuck with Rotten Tomato. I don't. Honestly, I don't really fuck with none of these websites that basically give you a false criticism because they want a headline. So they'll just lie. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, man, tell me what you think in the comments. You know, if you think the critics are fell and bumped their head, or if you think the critics is right. How do you feel about Black Adam? So let us know in the comments below. Talk nice to each other. Torture Talk, you know what it is.